Esme,
And I'm Nell.
and today we are going to be doing 2025 Olivier nomination predictions. It was looking like La La Land for a solid
Which is about 2 days ago when Esme said, nah,
no, literally
give
now
it
just
Olivier's.
texted me to be like, is it La La Land or Olivier's? And I was like, unless it's announced in literally the next 2 hours or tomorrow morning, it's La La Land. And then you said like, oh, I should probably watch it then. And I was like, yeah, I've never actually watched La La Land. I should get on that. I was about to say that, and then I was like, let me just check Twitter one more time. And they're like, oh, Tom Francis and Nicole Scherzinger to announce the Olivier Awards next Tuesday. It's Tuesday at 12. So day after this comes out, which is perfect, actually. Um, I I was worried because I heard a date that was really inconvenient for me,
Yeah,
that they were going to be on the day that this comes out, and I was like, "Ugh, if they're at that time, I'm busy then. I'm in public.
we can't be doing this in public.
I'm doing this shit in public. That'd be bad. Anyway, um, got any personal news you'd like to share, or are we just gonna get into it because it's gonna be talking?
Um,
Oh, massive plans this weekend, guys. It would have already
Massive
been
plans this weekend.
massive, incomprehensible for you guys' little brains. Follow us on TikTok to find out what's going on. Hopefully, there'll be some videos up, at least one.
Hopefully. Did the Five Guys basement bit make it into
Five
last
Guys
week's
Basement
episode?
bit made it into last week's episode.
All right, good. This weekend, guys,
Well, it would have already
get to
happened.
that Five Guys
Would
basement.
have already happened because this is coming out on the Monday, and we'll be in the
Oh,
basement the day before.
fuck.
That's crazy. That's why I kept it in. I was like, I have to. That's yeah. Also, me and Nell are gonna be more normal moving. Well, next week we're either gonna be batshit insane, like off the walls, new levels. 'Cause think about it. Sunday's go we don't know what we're doing Saturday really. We've got some plans in motion.
We've got some ideas.
That's my ideas. Sunday we've got plans
Sorry.
for what?
I just randomly remember it's like the Bonnie and Clyde fucking lyric. Everybody got dreams. I got plans.
Plans. That's us this weekend.
Yeah.
Um, got got massive plans on Sunday. Monday will be normal. Tuesday Olivier's, and then we'll probably record again next Wednesday. So
Yeah. But we're seeing each other in like 72 hours.
yes.
So we're a little insane right now. That should be my news. I I'm sleep deprived, baby.
Oh God, this should be fun.
I woke up at 9:30 a.m. on Monday.
Mhm.
Then I pulled an all-nighter Monday night. And then last night I fell asleep at 5 a.m. and woke up at 10, and now I'm here.
What's my personal news? I finished my essay on the light in the piazza. I've got to submit
Well
that.
done.
Note to myself to submit that. There's one where I'm really cooking here. My door just opened because of the wind, and I got temper. I was like, who's coming into my room? Um, um, what else? I've gotten really into Joni Mitchell's Blue and Red by Taylor Swift. Been spending quite a bit of time on taylorpictures.net. Fascinating place. Would recommend. Some of my favorite Taylor candidates. My friend is treating me like a bit of a psychological experiment this week because I'm not allowed to listen to like a couple of albums. She keeps asking me if I'm all right, and I'm like, yeah, I'm coping. It's actually
Ask her
her.
again on Monday.
Yeah, also, yeah, the real test will be what do I send to you on Monday? Check my AirBuds Monday and let's see how I perform. But yeah, that's kind of it. My life is really boring at the moment. Although this weekend, incomprehensible, massive plans. Um, should we just get into it? I haven't really been keeping up with the first point.
Oh. Oh.
This is one for you.
Basically,
Also, Mel did the news this week, so
some of it.
I've added
Most
one
of it.
point.
Um, I was in a lecture.
Yeah.
My ADHD pill was wearing off. This guy in my group was trying to make a point and he'd been going for about 5 minutes when the point had not been made yet. And I was like, fuck it. What's on stage saying?
One of these is not what's on stage. If it was, I'd lose my ever-loving shit.
The first one, I think a ton of creatives have been doing something similar.
Yeah, I know like
I
Kate
don't,
and like
yeah.
Sam Fender have all got together. A lot of people.
What's there's like a campaign, and I don't know if this one is part of the campaign.
It seems like something Andy would get involved in.
Yeah, so it was him and his son. I think he's called Alistair.
That's such an Andy name for a child.
I might have to double check that. But yeah, it's like
Andy
Andrew
and
Lloyd
Ken.
Webber and like Alistair Webber.
Yeah.
Basically, they put out an article on what's it on? Like The Guardian.
Yeah, because he's friends with the Guardian now.
He's gone woke.
Well, he did say that he would stop writing musicals because of the woke, but the woke actually saved him.
No, the woke. They brought him back. Basically, he wrote an article basically being like, AI sucks.
Yeah.
We need to stop using it. Not specifically, we need to stop using AI. He very much did think of being like, there are good uses for it.
My
But,
music is not one.
like for human creativity, AI is not a substitute.
Mm.
Which is a fair point.
I agree completely. I am worried about the rise of AI.
Oh, the line I read out to Esme when I was reading it earlier.
Yeah, that was funny. I
He
was
like
going on
made
an
a good point.
impassioned rant, and Nell
And I was
was
like, let me just tell you something. But he made like I should say, they both wrote. They made a good point together. But then the paragraph ended with like, do we want our children to discover the next David Bowie or the next David Bowie AI?
I bet you they were gagged when they came up with that
Oh,
their little farm.
little wrong.
You know what I mean. Because let's not forget, Andrew Webber is also an anti-AI activist and farmer.
I reckon Mojito wrote that line.
Dog gains sentience.
But yeah, I'm happy to see it.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is, like, Andrew Webber, unfortunately,
Can
really
make a
does
really...
have a lot of influence.
Oh, it's like when Taylor Swift's on like the perks up about music rights. It's like, oh, I forget that you're actually like really spot on the money with this.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they talked about when they did that interview.
My next news point,
Mm-hmm.
Into the Woods at the
Oh
Bridge
wait, this is big for me.
Theatre
I'm
this winter. Yeah. I was kind of shocked Esme hadn't already written it down when I went to go do it.
I've been busy. I've been writing my essay on Lie in the Piazza, so bigger thing. But other things, other musicals, been taking my attention. This is massive for me. I love Into the Woods. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite musicals possibly ever written.
And as someone who was definitely
Nell's
watched and listened Into the Woods.
Nell's very familiar, so this is like a homecoming for her.
We have done a whole episode on Into the Woods, and I did make my own points in it.
Yeah, you did. I remember. They were good points. I was
Everyone
like,
go listen to Catch Me If You Can. Go listen to the Catch Me If You Can episode.
So this is big for me, and I was thinking two things this week. One, where are all the Sun Times in London? Give me them now. I was thinking that. And then I also with the whole Jonathan Bailey, Richard III thing, I was thinking, what are they gonna do next?
Yeah.
And then it was announced Into the Woods, and I went, Jesus, take the wheel. I went, you know what? The prospect of me having a job at the same time that Into the Woods is playing in London, oh, it's going to be horrific.
You'll be there every night.
I'll be there every night. Also, I have business in that area.
Oh.
Huh?
Oh.
Yeah. So I could be in an appointment 1 second. And then I could be Into the Woods the next. It's massive for me in ways you guys can't comprehend.
Yeah. We're
That's...
operating at a different level.
I'm operating at a different level. This. I texted Toby about it, obviously, because I was like, who else is going to care as much as me? And I was like, Toby, we've got to go. Gotta go. Um, got a repertoire of shows going, me and Tobes. Uh, I think he's concerned about our weekend plans.
Why would you be concerned? We're doing only normal things.
He's deeply concerned about our weekend plans, yeah.
That's fair.
Um, what else was I gonna say?
The
Oh
next
yeah.
point kind of does link into our weekend plans,
Oh, our
can I
weekend
just say?
plans. Yeah. If you couldn't tell, this is the biggest thing to happen to us since ever.
Since maybe Hades Town on Tuck Day.
Yeah, I would have said the Arrows tour, but yeah, Hades Town on Tuck Day. That's
That's
how we
pretty
beat
big.
Hades Town on Tuck Day.
Well, can you imagine if they had done the OBC like over that period?
I think I would have killed myself.
If we could have seen the OBC on Tuck Day, I would have lost it.
I'm not. I wasn't mentally in a place for that.
Anyways, next point.
Sorry, continue.
So Esme doesn't think too hard about that.
No, that's deeply concerning. I've got to take a puff.
Um, there's a musical theatre bar in Soho. It's called The Room Where It Happens. And the reason I put this on is because there was a What's on Stage article that was specifically like, this bar just opened. But it really kind of seems like it didn't just open.
From everything I've seen about it, because they invited influencers, first of, why weren't we invited? Second of, it seems like they've reopened it.
Yeah, I assume that's what's happened, is it's reopening with like a revamp. And if they were open on Sundays, that's where we'd be ending the night. But they're not open on Sundays. Yeah.
Next up, Massive. No one saw this coming. Everyone saw this coming, but it's fun.
Everyone's always coming.
It's fun. Carlos Goza, Conrad Ricamora, and James Gully to return to Oh Mary from the 8th of April. Gullies, they want their Tony. And to that I say, rock on.
You know what? They deserve it.
They do. There's been a distinct lack of New York news in the past couple of weeks.
I don't know if I'm just like ignoring it.
Oh no, so did I. And so I went on like Broadway World last week and I was like, kind of nothing because except mincemeat trade war.
My uni's newspaper, I picked up their new copy yesterday.
Yeah.
Bitch, I opened it up, I look at like their different sections. Theatre, Operation Mincemeat Review. I'm like, let me see what they're saying.
Let me see what they're saying.
5 stars.
Of course.
Bitch.
They're gonna add it to their total.
You're not original. You're not original. You're just
We're
following the
original.
trend, first of all.
They're gonna
Secondly,
add it
I was reading it and they'd be like, there's an incredible set. What the fuck are you talking about? Show me the set. Show me the fucking set.
Show me the set. That's what I'm gonna say about Minzy. Oh, it seems to be catching on in America. And to that I say Rule Britannia.
Rule Britannia. Britannia rules the world.
Britannia rules the world. American excellence is on the decline, British excellence is on the rise. That's a joke. I'm not nationalistic like that, except for when it comes to my musicals. Even then, I'm like, we put out some real clunkers in the 90s. I'm so sorry.
I had to explain the concept of a mega musical to someone again.
Oh, that's always fun.
I was like, so imagine a musical with a really big set piece.
So I've actually been doing this isn't a secret, I can say this. We're doing Phantom the Re-Up. We've got a date for it. So I've been kind of doing research for it whenever I get bored. I've had to stop my Miss Saigon rabbit holing and force myself to do Phantom rabbit holing. Anyway, and so I've been getting into the intellectual debate around what makes a mega musical because I was like, we've never actually fully discussed it on here. And Phantom is kind of the perfect time to.
Yeah.
And it flows on so well from my piece about how many adaptations there are of Phantom. So
oh yeah.
It's
yeah. It is weird that there's been no Broadway news. I'm trying to think if actually nah, nothing's going on over there.
It's boring. You guys are boring. I say that.
Oh, the next point then.
The next point. I mean, we all knew this is another thing where I was like, wait, this wasn't officially announced.
I think maybe it was, and this was just the confirmation of the specific dates and location.
No, I've just heard rumors from 2 people online who were like, this is happening, and I was like, this makes too much sense for them both to be lying about it. So yeah.
So yeah, it's happening.
Heathers is going to New York, which we already knew, and they put out a very scary tweet of how very did you miss us? And I was like, no, leave me alone. I don't miss you. And then I was like,
Freddie Mercury. He was supposed to be dead.
and then I was like, oh no, this is for the American run. And I was like, praise Jesus.
Thank God.
Thank God. So they're going to New World Stages. Who's surprised? No one. Choir of Man. I don't know.
That's simply all I wrote down.
Choir of Man announced a new cast. I learned the names of the characters this week.
And they're fun.
And they're not names, they're just words. I don't think I'm mean enough about Choir of Man.
I think the thing is we have no real reason to dislike it. My reason is just I like the arts theatre and it annoys me that it's still running there.
I just don't think there's any like actual artistry behind it. I think they were just like, how many songs can we get the rights to?
But they have another.
They have a new
I believe
cast.
it is another all-white cast.
I think there's one person that might be biracial, but I don't know them like that. Yeah, in this day and age, why are we having a white cast? Especially if you're in London.
Yeah.
Like, there are very talented people out there. Anyway, moving on to something which now is bouncing off the walls about. I had to text her about it immediately and be like,
I nearly cried.
happening? Because you were just saying the day before how upset you were that you would never get to see this.
I was like, cried again over ballet shoes closing. I might just end it all. And the next day, Esme texts me, he's like, well, it's coming back. Ballet shoes is back next winter, this winter.
This winter. It's Christmas.
This winter coming.
Yep.
Tickets comes out on like the 20th of March.
So 20th of March, I will be sat with my computer treating it like the Eras tour drop. I will get us some £10 tickets.
Front row, £10 tickets.
Front row, £10 tickets. No one else get them. We're first in line. I've started the queue.
Everyone like hold off for a little bit.
I've started the queue and it's me. That reminds me.
You have to come talk to us and we'll give you like a number on your hand.
Yeah. I'm gonna camp outside the National.
You have to be awake for check-ins every 12 hours.
Well, you know what? The way that the Hadestown sales were ran, it was like a concert.
Yeah.
So who knows, man?
But yeah, I am so excited for ballet shoes to come back this year. That's the thing that's really throwing me is it's this year. I will be there. I know I said that last year.
But this year,
I'm going to be actually buying the tickets, not relying on someone else.
Or I'll be
relying on Esme. But I trust Esme.
I'm on it. Have I ever said I will book tickets for something and then not booked them?
No, I don't believe so.
If we've gotten to the point where we're discussing dates and like actual seats, I normally book them.
Yeah. Dear England is on tour or going on tour.
We should look into £10 tickets for that because I feel like we should.
I reckon we should go see Dear England.
Dear England. Although I need to work out how the hell I'm going to go see the last Sondheim musical, The National, with Jane Krakowski and Theresa Dawn for May, because if I don't see that, then I will do something drastic.
Yeah.
So speaking of Theresa Dawn for May, we're going to talk about it a lot this week, and it's going to be a great time.
My love. They released that list they do every year. I feel like it's one specific person releases it and then it just gets reported on.
Yeah. It's like an Instagram post as well, so everyone talks about like it's really
incredible. But it's the list of like the most used audition songs for musical theatre programs. I think it was actually number one.
It was number one, and it has been like bubbling up for a while.
Yeah.
Because the culture comes back around.
Yeah.
To the Great Comet.
But I mean, it was no one else from Great Comet.
Obviously, yeah.
And as much as I love it finally getting its flowers, you know?
That's my Pookie.
You know, I don't want to go see Moulin Rouge.
Guys, don't make me do Spider-Man. If you couldn't tell by last week how much Spider-Man was just brought up in the press, that's why I don't want to do it.
In case you've forgotten, if we we'll talk about it in more depth in this episode. We fully believe, we know that
Benjamin
The
Button.
Curious Case of Benjamin Button is winning Best New Musical. But if Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812 wins Best New Musical at the Oliviers, I'm gonna go see Moulin Rouge by myself and
Sober.
report back. Sober, not allowed to drink.
Not allowed to drink.
And we're gonna do an episode on Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Which you might be like, surely that's the thing for the both of you. No, 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 no. It's hell for me because Nell can just sit there and go, yeah,
It's my
Spider-Man,
favorite musical.
my favorite musical, and I'll be there going, oh, I hate this. I hate you too.
Like Esme will be in physical pain the whole time.
I'm not listening to it ever again. That's something I'd have to listen to again.
Unless Great Comet wins.
I just here's the thing. Also, like U2 really pissed me off.
Mm.
And I don't care about Spider-Man. Like, I've never seen a Spider-Man film in my life.
I have.
Like, never. So, like, the idea of me sitting down and doing Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, which is one of the most, like, extensively covered musicals in the press, I would say. Probably up there, like, Hamilton.
Yeah.
It's like hell, but Great Comet would have won a major award. So,
like, we'll be really happy, but also terrified.
Yeah. I'd be terrified of its impact. But it's not winning, so...
I don't think any other songs on that list stood out to me, but I really do not remember anything else than seeing it and going, oh my god, no one else.
I saw it because I was going to send it to my friend who like is in uni for it for musicals theatre. But the guy songs were like really like not as many. Like there was a couple, if that makes sense.
Mm. I just feel like as well the guy songs don't change that much.
It's like it's always like On the Street Where You Live from My Fair Lady, Maria from West Side Story. I wasn't surprised, and I was surprised to see like My Days. My Days was on there. I feel like it was.
But I think that was very big, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, My Days. My Days by Ingrid Michaelson.
Did you ever see like maybe not necessarily making it onto that list, but just in general being used as an audition song? Any of the songs from Mincemeat. The only one I can think of is Hamley's song. Dear Bill's way too long. How are you going to take a cut of that?
A cut, just like a rant. Yeah, Chumley's song. Do you know what else I saw on there? And was like, oh, love, flowers.
Yeah. Oh, Hades. There was a lot of Hades Town quite high up on the list.
Guys, I've not listened to Flowers in like months.
I listened to it the other day on my CD player.
I'm not. I'm having Hades.
Having withdrawals.
I genuinely am, and that's the
Just
crazy.
A couple more days.
That's the crazy part about my listening this week. Like my friends like, Esme, you're having this album withdrawals, and I'm like, no, girl. I'm having Hades Town withdrawals.
But yeah, what the fuck is Chumley's song called?
Useful.
No, that's the girl's song.
Oh god, fish something. Piss me off. I'm gonna look this up.
I could sing the song, I reckon. It's because when I was talking about it the other week, I was like, I reckon if you just gave me the lyrics and I didn't know the tune or the story behind the song, I could sing it perfectly.
I would be. It's like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was listening to Diane so bad.
Dead in the water. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Dead in the water again.
Couldn't tell you how it went, but yeah, I've definitely heard that song a couple of times.
I feel like that one could be good because it's an I Want song.
Yeah.
So, therefore, a good audition song. I'll say this though, guys. Can we run up the Great British Bake Off musical?
That is like Somewhere in the Dough is perfect.
Somewhere in the Dough is possibly the best audition song ever written.
And like, especially for like something like Waitress.
Yeah.
Girls, get on it. It would work with a southern accent as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, where are we at? Oh, London Theatre Week. It ends soon. They're always saying it's ending soon, but it goes on for like 3
for the next 3 weeks. It's going to be saying London Theatre Week ends soon, guys. Buy some tickets.
Yeah, I need to buy.
But genuinely, go and look. They're still doing Gatsby for 15 quid.
Here's the thing, on Sunday, considering depending on how much money I spend, if I have enough like saved money left over, I will just buy myself a Gatsby ticket.
It's 15 quid.
15 quid. I was talking about it
Like,
with my family, and my mum was like, "Oh, I'd be down to go." My uncle was like, "Absolutely not, not in the home, not in the old home of the English National Opera." And my dad went, "I can't go and make me too angry."
all fair points.
I was like, I wonder where I get it from. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
go look at London Theatre Week. I look at it all the time and then don't buy tickets. So
No, so do I. I'm always on Shaytex. Oh, I'll talk to you about this afterwards.
okay.
I had a thought. Um, Pippin anniversary concert. It's gonna go on
I
Broadway.
I think unironically I just saw like a headline that said an anniversary concert and I was like, yeah, fuck it.
It's going on Broadway HDR Enemy.
Yeah.
Um,
Something else was released on Broadway HD. So I got a TikTok from a guy who was like, here's an update on the state of like the pro shots we know have been filmed.
yes, because there's so many that are filmed that we just don't have a release date for. There's like a Nick Jonas, um, what should we call it one? Jersey Boys ones that they filmed over COVID that's like no one
I was
knows.
thinking about Jersey Boys earlier. Weirdly enough, I was like really thinking about it. I can't wait to do the Jersey Boys episode.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Oh my God.
What?
You know how Pitbull just did a like London show?
Yeah, you added another one.
Yeah, with Shaggy, who
Your
we were also just
bestie!
talking about.
Your bestie Shaggy!
I bought a ton of CDs this week, and one of them was a Shaggy CD.
They're actually pretty normal CD selection for now.
Whereas, mate, I'm gonna hold up a CD.
Actually,
I bought a Diana Princess of Wales tribute CD, and the first is 2 discs, and the first song on it is "Who Wants to Live Forever" by Queen.
Yep.
It's incredible, and then also Michael Jackson is on it.
We're going to talk
And we
about
were
Michael
like,
Jackson today.
great. But we were like, what song? And one of my friends was like, oh, surely Dirty Diana. Putting Dirty Diana on her tribute CD.
I was sad that Lady Diana's dead.
Well, she's been dead a while.
Yeah, but sometimes I think about like people who died young and how that's sad. Like I think about how it's sad that Marilyn Monroe died often.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. The
Moving on.
importance of being earnest in cinemas.
It looks
It's
so good, man. I keep getting clips of it, and I'm like, fuck. And Shooty, I forgot his last name, sorry. But he's eating up the role.
he's in Doctor Who or was in Doctor Who. I don't know. I don't watch Doctor
Yeah.
Who. I liked him in Sex Education. It's very good in that. Looks great. Probably won't watch it. Don't have the time. Much to Do opens properly.
2 good reviews, which is strange for a Jamie Lloyd Shakespeare.
My favourite was a photo of Jamie Lloyd looking very seriously on the red carpet, and someone went, "Cheer up, mate.
Every single
is a hit." Jamie Lloyd's also like Evita casting soon, but he's been saying that for like a month and a half, so
yeah.
I'll believe when I see it. Marisha Wallace becomes a British citizen, Rule Britannia.
Rule Britannia. It was like crazy. She just tweeted it, and I was like, "Is this real?
I thought it was kind of a joke.
Or is this a joke?" I think she actually became a British citizen.
Yeah.
Much love, Marisha Wallace.
Much love.
And then the next one is very important to me specifically, and I don't think anyone else.
I'm deeply concerned about this. Actually, I meant to talk to you about this off mic. I'm deeply concerned about this.
No, I really am.
I'm not.
Pope Francis, guys.
I'm probably one of the most like non-religious people out there, but I'm deeply concerned about Pope Francis.
He's not doing well. He's got like pneumonia or something.
I'm deeply concerned. Are they gonna have a conclave?
Oh.
I mean,
the Oscar campaign goes hard.
I need to watch Conclave.
Yeah. But yeah, and then just for so he's in like critical condition, has been for like a week now. The headlines,
he rested well.
It's like Pope Francis passed a peaceful night. I was like, what?
And also, you know the state of the world's bad right now when the Pope Francis is seen as woke.
He is kind of weirdly woke.
Is he? I don't.
I mean, he is the one who keeps like I can't even say it. He keeps using the F slur. I don't know if you've seen this, but he does keep using the F slur. But also, like,
Like I've been
even while being sick, he's like calling
yeah,
the
I've been
church in
seeing that.
Gaza every night.
And
He's like he's
calling the church of
weirdly
Gaza.
for using the F slur a lot. He's weirdly accepting of gay people.
And also, like, he's been telling JD Vance he's not a Catholic and, like, is about to excommunicate him.
Yeah, it's I fucking love the guy.
Speaking of religion,
Oh God.
Jesus Christ Superstar is going to be done in a regional theatre. Rob Madge is also doing an adaptation of something. I don't know. It's been a long week. Also, people are still having really strange reactions to the Hollywood Bowl one. First off, it's an old musical from the early 70s. Second off, Andrew Lloyd Webber doesn't care. Third off, he doesn't need your money. He's a billionaire.
He's doing this for fun.
He's doing this for shits and gigs, and that's when he does his best work. So let him cook. Also, Cynthia Erivo's amazing. Also, I found out he has already been in an all-female production of Jesus Christ Superstar.
Icon.
He was Mary. I am going to look up her singing I Don't Know How to Love Him because I bet you that goes hard. Weirdly religious theme to the last 3 points.
It's been a religious week.
Finally, Louis Theroux musical about the Westboro Baptist Church. I'm kind of sad for this. I think it's actually kind of a good idea for a musical.
I'm like weirdly intrigued about it.
I'm like kind of into this. Anyway, we're gonna talk about our Olivier predictions now. And okay, so do you know the way that like I envisioned us doing it? Because I sat down to do this, and I was like, I don't really need to do like proper notes. I just kind of want to like, first off, I don't know what's going to be eligible. They don't like to tell us these things until they're happening, and you're like, oh fuck, I didn't know this was happening. So I thought it would be good if instead of like going through like categories and being like, oh, this can be nominated, this can be nominated, this can be nominated, to make sure we don't leave something out, we go through shows individually and talk about their award chances. If that makes sense?
Yeah. So doing like Benjamin Button, I think will be nominated for this, this, and this.
Yeah.
Not this.
Yes.
Okay. I'm down for that.
Because if we were to just sit there and go, I think for Best Musical, it's going to be Benjamin Button and Natasha Peer Comedy of 1812 and nothing else. Like, also, I forgot how much was eligible this year. To tell you guys what's technically eligible?
What?
Opening night. It's not getting nominated. Existed. It is eligible.
No, they're not going to give opening night something. I was going to say as a joke they might. But...
No, I was like, people. When I was putting this together, like people do love Sheridan Smith.
She might get an acting nom, but I feel like.
And then I was like,
there are too many other good actors.
I feel like this has been too good of a season.
Yeah.
For them to. Also, I'm going to add something quick. So you can talk about it. Okay. Right. So should we start with the Curious Case of Benjamin Button, which we have called the front runner for a while? So
yes, many have.
Many have. Realistic. We weren't the first ones to be like, this is winning it. I saw someone say it like when it opened, and then I thought about it and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna win it. And then I saw it and I went, yeah, now. And I think I literally said to Nell the next day, this is gonna be a great comment for the Olivier, and I'm gonna be so annoyed about it. Yeah, so basically what I have written down is people are acting like it's the second coming of Operation Mincemeat with the way that they are talking about this show. I did think it was better than Mincemeat, though. I'll give it that.
For us, bar is on the ground.
I enjoyed parts of it.
So I feel like it is a show I should go see. And if it wins Best New Musical, which it will, I reckon I might end up seeing it.
We could try for rush tickets on Saturday. Do you care that much?
If the locomotive lottery falls through, I'm not opposed to it.
But if the locomotive lottery falls through, I thought we were going to try for cabaret.
Cabaret?
I started calling it cabaret. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I reckon we should try for Cabaret anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
The likelihoods of us winning that is so low, though.
Cabaret.
Mm.
Yeah.
Whether or not we want to have the option to see a show, whether or not like we actually want to see a show, if that makes sense.
Mm. I think let's play it by ear a little bit.
Exactly, because we might get there and we might be like, we might get back home and just be like, I just want to chill.
Yeah. I mean, I'm seeing a show the night I get back.
That's what I was also thinking of. Like, do you want to do 3 shows in 3 days?
Maybe.
And like Sunday's gonna be intense.
Sunday is a like full day affair.
Sunday is like the second coming of the Eras tour to me,
Yeah.
and I mean that in the positive way.
I just realized I have to like wake up early because I have
Yeah,
to get ready.
yeah.
Ugh.
I was putting on my makeup today, and I was like, I'm gonna have to use so much fucking setting spray, especially since we're vlogging.
Yeah.
And also, I'm gonna be crying. Andre Shields is gonna come on stage, and I'm gonna be like,
I need to pick up some more contacts when I get back home.
oh,
And I was just like, oh, I could wear them on Sunday. No,
no,
I
crying.
have to wear my glasses because I need to cry.
Bro, even if Zala's gonna start singing, I'm gonna start sobbing. But it's been a thing that just has happened in my life before, so it wouldn't be the first.
Anyways,
Anyways,
Benjamin Button.
move on. This is why I formatted it like this, so we can't get too sidetracked.
Yeah.
I've also pulled some reviews, so and like highlighted what they were saying. So I also walked out of it being like, so John Danglish, who is playing Benjamin, he's getting an Olivier nom for playing Benjamin. I mean, he's on stage the entire show basically, and it's a very physical performance, if that makes sense. Because he's
I can imagine.
like obviously he starts the show as a old man and then like ages backwards, and so he has to adopt the different physicalities that come along with that. And yeah, he's on stage the entire time. But my big question was Claire Foster, who plays Lowen. Where's is she gonna get on? Because it is such an ensemble piece, and Benjamin Button is obviously a character, and then everyone else is around him inhabiting this world, and everyone else is playing multiple roles except for Lowen. And then I saw someone say like, "Oh, she'll go in Best Featured," and then I like looked at her. I was like looking up people's names because I wanted to see the name of the Queenie who I think should get an Olivier nomination, but definitely won't from this. Philippa Hogg, who plays Benjamin's mother and sings the best song in the show, The Kraken's Lullaby. I was like, she should get a nom. She won't, but she should. And I was looking at like Claire Foster's resume, and she's been nominated a couple of times before, and so I was like, okay, I feel like her chances are good of getting a nom.
I could see her going in featured actress.
Yeah, that's where I was going with this. Like, I could very much see her going
Pretty, yeah.
featured actress. Also, another thing that I'd like to point out now, because I think it's important to say for something else I'm going to say for another show we're going to talk about in a minute. Come From Away, which it has been compared to many times. I agree with that comparison, both sonically, vibally, just all around, very Come From Away-esque. The Oliviers loved Come From Away. Come From Away won Oliviers over 6 that year. Like, it was the big showdown. 6 versus Come From Away.
Yeah.
And I think that's also going for them.
But I can Come From Away is a musical.
Yes.
6 has always felt like a concert.
Yeah. Also, the UK reviews weren't like, this is the best thing ever. It kind of became the best thing ever, if that makes sense. But at the time that it was probably at the Oliviers, it was still playing the arts and selling it well, but like it wasn't like we need to move to the vaudeville, you know?
Yeah. I think the thing with Benjamin Button is with every single category, I feel like an argument could be made.
Yeah.
Not revival. Not revival.
I could see an argument for it for all best comedy or best entertainment or comedy play. It's not
for everything it is eligible for.
Yeah, no, 100%. I could see an argument for that. I
fully see an argument for how they could get a nomination. I just don't know if they will get a nomination for everything.
Like supporting, you could give the father a nomination, Benjamin's father. He's probably the third biggest role next to Lowen. There was one other thing that I was like, I kind of am pushing for it for best musical contribution, which is like our version of best original score.
Yeah.
I could very comfortably see it getting a nomination because there's 4 spots, and I'm thinking 2 will go to original musicals and 2 will go to scores, if that makes sense. No, 2 will go to
Yeah.
like the arrangements and what they've done to update it.
Because
Um,
I think there's plays. This year's got a lot of the Ghibli plays, right?
they will probably go into Best Entertainment or Comedy Play because it's Spirited Away this year. Last year was My Neighbor Totoro.
Mm. Kyoto's also up this year.
Kyoto is also up this year. Yes.
I ain't
Uh,
seen it, but
oh, nor have I. I saw a set and I went, that kind of looks sick.
this is my thing. Actually, can I talk plays for a second? Because we're probably not gonna do plays.
Go ahead. I don't know enough to like say, but yeah, if you want to.
My big thing is basically we've had a lot of stunt casted plays.
Oh yeah.
Like, you remember what the leading actor in a play, what's on stage looked like?
Oh yeah. Although some of that, like David Tennant was eligible last year because he was at the Dartnall last year.
Mm. But I mean, like this year, it's gonna be basically all of the Jamie Lloyd Shakespeare guys.
Yeah.
It just seems I understand why they're gonna be the front runners in a lot of people's minds, at least.
Hmm.
Oh, do you know who should plays? Do you know who should get a fucking nomination for
I
both
have.
things they've been in?
Oh yeah.
Mason, Alexander.
Mason Alexander Park. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna check.
Uh,
Check.
the star of The Tempest in many ways.
Yes.
And especially in something like The Tempest, where everyone else, in my opinion, kind of fell flat a little bit. The I don't even know his name, the prince, the young prince, he was funny.
Mm.
But plays are always hard for us to talk about because we don't see enough of them.
Mm.
But yeah, The Tempest I could maybe see getting like lighting as well, because they do a lot of storms.
I think it will be interesting because Jamie Lloyd has 3 Shakespeare plays up for nominations this year. It'll be interesting to see how many of them get nominated because I could easily see them just giving a ton of nominations to Much to Do and being like, well, we gave him some noms.
Thing as well, just because the other two fell so flat.
I'm still pushing for Francis and Marina Rivers for
Yeah,
Romeo and Juliet.
I agree.
Other than that, like Tom Holland, Olivier arc is not coming.
But it would be funny
It
if
would
he
be
did
funny.
win.
I'd like him to go in one of his grey tracksuits
Oh, please.
with Zendaya. Um, yeah, do you have anything else to say on plays?
I'm just trying to think if there are any others.
Oh,
I
Slave Play.
guess
Interesting to see how it shakes out.
Slave Play was controversial, which makes me think it will get nominated.
Because at the Tonys, it got like 12 nominations, most nominated play in history before Stereophonic, and then didn't win any.
Yeah.
I could see a similar thing happening. Although it wasn't
Mm.
like, it wasn't controversial in the way people were talking about it. People were just like, eh, it's controversial. And they just ignored it.
I will say, Jamie Lloyd Shakespeare's,
Mhm.
if a single one of them gets a set nomination, I'm gonna fucking riot. Like, this isn't a joke.
It's like the opposite of you and Tammy Faye and lighting.
Tammy Faye will win Best Lighting at the Tonys.
You were at Hadestown the day after the day before this comes out, and you just saw someone in the interval go, Tammy Faye will win Best Lighting. It was Mel.
We have a list of things we are allowed to talk about at Hadestown, and the biggest one is Tammy Faye will win Best Lighting at the Tonys.
Um,
It if they get a single set nomination, I will actually lose it.
I think they should do
Because
it.
none of them have sets.
The much to do has chairs.
Like, the plastic chairs and pink petals.
Yeah,
It's not a set.
not a set, but you know what I mean. I really want best set for Benjamin Button.
Mm,
And best director is going to be tough because it also includes players. But I think because also another thing with Benjamin Button that I don't think I've touched on, which is why it might get outstanding musical contribution, is it's all like actor muso.
yeah,
And so I think that could also help them with a director nomination because you have to like make it all make sense, and they're all playing all these different roles at the same time as they're all switching
yeah.
up. So on a skill level, the direction of Benjamin Button is very good.
I think this is that thing. Like Benjamin Button is a very, very good show. Like we're joking around about not wanting it to win Best Musical. It does fully deserve to win Best Musical.
Oh, 100%. Like I I was in a bad mood when I saw it. I was in a really bad mood when I saw it. So maybe I need to go when I'm not like wanting everyone to die,
Yeah,
and maybe I'll
we
like
should
it.
maybe we should rush this.
Maybe we should watch Benjamin Button.
You know what? We're making a case for it.
Huh.
I could
Um,
also see, building what you were saying about the like them playing their own instruments
yes.
and all of that. I can see that being used as making a case for them for choreography.
Yes, because they're also like dancing with the instruments at points, and there's like these bar scenes, and they're all like flipping in and out of characters. Um, that's very impressive. And the opening number, I if it gets sound design, I will lose my shit because I could not understand what they were saying. And again, it wasn't the West Country dialect thing. I know a West Country dialect.
We can understand West Country
Not the
dance.
issue. I couldn't hear them, and it was annoying. But if it's gonna sweep in the way, if it's gonna sweep to, like the max extent that it can, Philippa Hogg for for
You know, if it's getting a nomination for every category it's eligible for, you know what? Full send it.
full send it. Yeah. So that that's Benjamin Button. I we'll see. Well, like Benjamin Button is one that I'm expecting to hear a lot of, and I'm expecting it to make its way into the ones that are normally taken up by majority plays.
Mm,
Um, so yeah. Next up, onto our favorite. Um, I have written down like important things to note for this discussion because like I just tried like I was like thinking about the vibes of them, like the shows and what people are saying about them. So Natasha
yeah.
Pierre from 1812, American import technically, made on Broadway, different production though.
Yeah, which, you know, the Oliviers aren't the biggest fans of that.
But it's also kind of a redemption story. Malloy is kind. We like Malloy over here. I think a little bit more than we like him in America than they like him in America. The other thing I wanted to say about Comet is it is Timothy Sheeda. It's his first show at the Donmar, so he took over
Mm,
creative realm from Michael Longhurst. So that could play in its favor. Like his first show being as much as a hit as Comet was.
yeah.
Um, so I think it will get Best Musical nom because Best Musical nom would also mean the music, the score, the story would get a nomination, and the fact that it sold out, and the fact that it was his first one. I think it's quite well in there for a musical nom. I was looking at the list. Okay, now the acting nominations is where I have a bit of a pause because I could see a world where it gets nominations in Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Featured Actress, Best Featured Actor for what's his name? Declan Bennett as Pierre, Chemizia Dolphin May as Natasha, Damien Moscato as Anatole, and Mimuna Memon as Sonia.
Mm,
If they like a Great Comet, I can see them just giving it all those noms for
yeah.
acting. If
The
they're a
thing
little
with the
bit...
acting one as well
Yeah, go ahead.
is it's specifically like featured actress
That's the one I'm a bit like,
because I think, in my opinion, it should go to Sonia.
Oh, yeah.
But I think there is a case to be made for like Helene. I think there is a case to be made for Mary. I think there is a case to be made for what is her name? The
Oh, the one that learned Maggie Thatcher.
yeah, Maggie Thatcher. Well, I gotta sing a song in my head real quick. Maria.
Mario is old school. I always said Mary, but it's
Mario,
like Princess Mary's someone else.
Maria and Mary.
Yes.
And Sonia, I think
And Helene.
like and Helene. Like I think there
Probably
is
a real moment.
hmm. I think there are like all of those four I could see getting a nomination.
Hmm.
Because in my opinion, I think they all have a very similar amount
The only one
of a role.
where I was like, I think I'm just clouded by how much I enjoyed her performance was Mary.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah, I do think because Mary even comes up in like minor characters in the
Mary
intro, doesn't
was
she?
then used in it goes minor characters and it does Mary and her father.
Yeah. So maybe Mary is the one who I can see them giving it to the least,
Yeah.
which I do really think she deserves a nomination. I would give all of them a nomination if I
if
could.
I'm Queen of the Universe, all of you get nominations and you all win.
And then I kind of think it might be the same for like featured actor.
Lead actor, I think, is just Jamie Moscato though. If I'm thinking about it with where the like who I heard the most talked about and who the reviewers then were talking about the most, it was Theresa Dawn May, Jamie Moscato, Declan Bennett, and Mimuna Memon.
Yeah. Because I think as well, um, his friend, Olikov,
Dolokhov. Dolokhov was great.
I think argument to be made. I think,
He ran up that fireman's pole, man. Give him a nom.
dude, he really are.
When he ran up the fireman's pole.
It was good. He was good. I think Balaga as well. I can see an argument being made. I think out of them because Balaga kind of does only have one song.
And
It's
Balaga's
the same
just
thing as
fun.
like Mary,
Yeah.
whereas like they have one really big moment I'm like love.
That I think about every day.
Yeah. But ultimately, it's kind of in my head.
Yeah.
I think that Pierre and Anatole
Mm-hmm.
should be in like leading.
Yes.
In my head, they should both be leading.
And honestly, I think if they were both in leading and it was between the two of them for nominations, I think Jamie Moscato would get it over Declan Bennett.
Like, from a purely personal standpoint, I'd rather Declan Bennett.
See, I really like last performance. It's so good. When he hit that high note.
Yeah. But I think like
And the ball
the
scene.
ball was good.
The ball scene between him and Chimizia Dawn for May was like spirit. Like honestly, at the interval, I literally just had to like lean next to a pole and just like think about life after witnessing.
I even think the opera.
Oh my god!
Watching them like act in the opera.
Chase each other around, and like that's when it looks the most like a club.
Yeah. God, it was. I think it is purely a personal thing. Yeah. I want Declan Bennett to win. And that's why in my head I'm like, you know what, give Declan Bennett leading and give Jamie Moscato featured.
Featured. And also that lines up with what they did with the Tonys. Where the guy who was only done great comment, love him, Lucas Steele, was in featured with Mike Feist.
What a category.
What a category. Neither of them won. Gavin Crew won.
What a category.
Yeah, so and also if I'm speaking from like a place of I've read many reviews for Great Comet in preparation for this. I didn't read as many for the rest, I just wanted to think about Great Comet some more. The two where it's like people are talking about the most was Chimizia Dawn for May. If she doesn't get in, I'm gonna be shocked.
If she doesn't get a nomination, I'm writing.
I'm in the streets. Give her one. Give her one. Give her one for some of those harmonies alone.
Yeah.
The harmony in the ball, the harmony in oh, Natasha and the Blonskis.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And her Natasha in Act 2 was so haunting.
Yeah. Like she
Like
was
in Act
fucking
1.
incredible.
Like in Act 1, Natasha is very much like, I know what I'm doing. I'm getting married to oh my God, I've forgotten all their names.
It is the first line. And Andre isn't here?
Andre, yeah. I'm getting married to Andre, that's what I'm doing. I'm getting married, I'm getting married, I'm getting married. And then she meets Anatole and her life derails and she becomes like this shell of a woman. And it's so, so good to watch.
I I've seen a lot of shows in my life, and I
Yes.
don't know if it's maybe because it was such a small theatre and where we were sat and everything. I genuinely don't think I've ever watched a show and been as unable to take my eyes off someone. Like I just wanted to watch how she was playing Natasha all the time to see what she was doing.
I was I'm haunted by like how she was acting, genuinely.
Yeah.
Like, what? Sorry, what? Also, her star is on the rise. She's done a couple of things. She was in that fucking Aspects of Love revival. No hate to you, Queen.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be in the last Sondheim International. It makes sense to give her
Yeah.
this award. Give her this award, you people.
It's like last year
Mhm.
with Grace Hodgett Young.
Yes.
Like the stage Grace Hodgett Young was at her career. I
Yes.
feel like Chimney to Dawn for me is at a very similar stage.
Yeah.
I just want her to win. I really like her.
I
And I
really
really
like
want her to win.
her Natasha haunts my dreams. Like, here's the thing. You know how I feel about Charming.
Oh,
I was watching her.
same.
I was like, how's Natasha reacting to this?
I was like, how, when is her mind going to change? How is she going to be convinced?
I'm gonna be convinced. So, I mean, we've waxed poetic enough about her, so let's
Yeah.
move on to some of the other categories.
Can I say though, like,
Go ahead.
purely because of the stakes we have put on it,
Yeah.
I will be happier if Great Comet like loses Best Musical, but Teresa Dawn for May wins Best Actress,
Oh
than
my God.
if
Because I know
they
she's
win
got...
both.
That's the
If
thing.
unironically, if they win both, I will be less happy than if she just won.
Here's the thing. I know they're not winning both because I know who else is up for in contention for that category.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I know. I don't know whether or not they're going to get a best director. I don't know about the sets and costume designing and lighting and sound design. Sound design maybe. But the way that they do the club music, they're able to transition between like the very classical operatic sound into the club music, maybe?
Maybe sound purely for the opera
Yes. The
because of
way
how that was
that
done.
I don't think set, which I never thought I'd say about production of Great Comet.
You know what? I think Great Comet is a shoo-in for sound design.
I think
All the
direction
big
maybe.
categories:
All the
Best
big
Musical, Leading Actress, and Sound Design.
Yeah. I do like obviously like I think we walked out of it. We were having a conversation and I went, I really loved Sonia Alone and Mamuna Memon. She is also Olivier nominated in the past.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps her in her favor and all the reviews talked about her. But my issue is I don't know if Sonia has enough of an arc because she really is there to reflect off of Natasha.
Yeah. Like, I think Sonia Alone is one of the most beautiful songs ever written. I think she performed it incredibly. I
Yeah,
was in tears. We were
I
both
was,
crying.
yeah.
But it is also that thing of, I feel like the four women I mentioned, the featured or
Yeah.
supporting,
Yeah.
all have a similar level of what their role was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's
And the
none
way, like,
where one of them stands out as being like featured, and the rest of them are kind of more ensemble characters. Apart from maybe like Maria.
one last thing I'm going to say on comment
Yes.
is I also think that this is the only if it goes the way I'm kind of expecting it to, because I think there are 4 slots traditionally for most of these awards. Um, sometimes they're 5. if this goes the way I expect it to, I also expect it to get that outstanding musical contribution.
Yeah.
For Dave Malloy's score, also the way it was orchestrated, it was a tiny, tiny band playing this score.
Yeah. I think it might not get set
I'm not expecting it to get sat.
because
I
its
mean,
biggest set pieces were the fireman pole and the O.
yeah.
And while they were really fun,
The
and
light
really
bulbs
cool set pieces,
were annoying.
again, were annoying as hell. I have something to say on those as well, but I'll get to it. Costume design. Please give it a costume design on. Please give it a costume design.
Like all the haters and losers can be silenced.
We walked out. We actually sat in the interval going, then the change from her dresses from like these
No,
pastels.
there's a video on our TikTok. I'm plugging our TikTok. There's gonna be a funny video up, hopefully, if I get my shit together in time for this to be up at the same time as the episode. In the vlog we did, and we're walking down the street, and I'm just going, "Oh my God, what the hell did I just see? That was so good." I'm literally going, I want to talk about the significance of Natasha wearing a normal girl's dressing gown at the
Yeah.
end in the conversation with her and Pierre.
Like I think very specifically Natasha's costuming
I literally went like, I want to
was
talk about
incredible.
costuming from like this very obvious young girl into like this,
Yeah.
and then the second society almost knocks her down, or she experiences the real world. She reverts very much back to this girlish
Yeah.
form.
Yeah. Lighting. I think my perception of the lighting of Great Comet is skewed by the light bulbs. Because, like the image of Pierre holding up the light bulb at the end, beautiful. Not lighting design though, is it?
It's not. It might be a direction.
The thing is, it's kind of props.
It is. I
Um,
I could see Tim Sheeder getting a director nom. I'm not expecting it,
yeah,
but I could see it happening.
I can see it happening. If he did, I'm not expecting him to win it. Is I think the biggest part. Um, my only thing with lighting of why I'm like maybe it should get one is one the light bulbs and the use of them at the end weren't used ever.
They would sometimes turn off and on.
Yeah, but like the way they like sparkled at the end like stars.
Oh, it was so beautiful.
Beautiful.
Oh, I could cry thinking about it.
I know. And then my only other thing with lighting was stuff like the clubs and the opera.
Oh yes.
The
Oh
way
yeah.
lighting was used there.
I really felt like I was at the club. I was like, wait.
Yeah, but I do think there are better shows.
We have to remember that Olivier's kind of hate musicals.
Yeah. You know, anything that includes both. But please give it best sound design. You've always got to have a weird one to root for in a category that you don't care about that much.
Don't actually know the technical aspects of it. So next up is a show where I don't actually know what category it's going to go into. Because
If it goes like the main ones, it's going to be a play.
no, it'd be a musical, I think.
I don't think it has enough songs.
It has a lot of songs.
I feel like when you go on Today Text, it's not classed as a musical.
Technically a jukebox musical.
I know.
Ty.
I'm just going on the musicals tag and seeing if it comes up.
Okay, so Titanic, the musical, has an hour and 50. Oh, no, they didn't do all the songs. So they have A New Day Will Come, Taking Chances, Where Does My Heart Beat Now, If You Ask Me, To Love You More, Who Let the Dogs Out? I forgot about that. Beauty and the Beast, You and I, Tell Him, I Surrender, River Deep, Mountain High, Seduce Me, I Drove All Night, All by Myself, Like a Prayer, My Heart Will Go On, and then I'm Alive.
Hmm.
But the other place where I'm like, likely place for Titanic to be would be Best Entertainment or Comedy Play.
Yeah.
Where's
Okay,
it?
it doesn't come up on play or musical on.
Yeah.
Let me see. What is it actually tagged as? Um,
They're
Mm.
now calling it a musical jukebox on Today Text.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Mm.
I guess in my head it's just not.
No, I go back and forth on this like every single day because I could see it going into comedy or entertainment because that's where a lot of the Criterion stuff normally goes,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. And it is just so ridiculous. I really do love Titanic and I'd be rooting for it to win. However, it is so ridiculous.
Yeah. I think I can't actually see much of the cast getting nominated for things.
Laura, if it is a musical,
Maybe Celine Dion.
Lauren Drew is Celine Dion. Celine Dion. She does a very good impression. But again, that's the other
My
thing. It's an
sister
impression.
texted me about Michelle Trachtenberg. The family group chat, she's updating everyone. My mother's devastated, by the way.
Oh, my mum probably won't care. My dad once looked at me and went, "You seem like you'd really love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You should watch it." And I've been a bit resentful of it ever since, even though I probably would really like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah. Because I think
Um,
my sister was texting to alert my dad, because my dad
oh,
will care.
oh. My dad loves Titanic. It's actually kind of hilarious. He wants to go see it again.
I'll go with him.
Yeah, I was like, if you want to buy me a now ticket, we'll come with you. Um, I
I
think
feel
it's
like
like, yeah, sorry, what
this
were
is
you
the
saying?
issue with Titanic, is that it's just kind of hard to place.
Yes, that's the thing. Yeah.
Because I think, like, in the individual categories, whatever it places in, I feel like we're going to say the same thing, which is that I don't see much of the cast getting nominated.
I don't even know if it would make it into Best Musical. If it was
Yeah,
as a musical, the only place I can really see it going would be probably Best Actress for Lauren Drew. Even then, that would be hard. So I think if they're smart,
yeah,
they'd probably put it in Best Entertainment or Comedy Play.
yeah.
They can make the argument that it's a one act parody.
Because even set set design, maybe.
No,
No, not really.
I don't think the door being strapped to Rose and then them doing holding space
Quite
counts.
good. Costume design, it's kind of thing of if there was nothing else,
If
yes,
it's
I
just
could see getting
bad,
costume design nomination. Like,
we had like what one or two less real. Like if it was just this and opening night that were like the only other two contenders, I'd be
yeah,
like, yeah, we're gonna get all the award noms.
I think it's hard. It's kind of the same with the Tonys, where it's like Titanic just isn't award show material.
It's got a few off Broadway awards because it's never been to Broadway. It's just always stayed off Broadway, which is the perfect place for it.
Which I think that's the thing, is it's like I think if it went to the Tonys, I don't think it would ever do well. And it's not a bad show, it's a great show.
I wonder if in a post O'Mary landscape though they'd be a bit more like, yeah.
Maybe.
Um,
I feel
my
like maybe it needs to have a bigger online presence.
That's the other thing.
Because
My
Oh Mary, I see every day.
O'Mary I see every day and I chuckle.
And
I
I
go,
want to go see it.
I go bring it here now.
Titanic, I got like one video of, and it was when Matt Lucas was there.
Yeah,
And they made like a Boris Johnson joke and he did an impression.
yeah.
I like liked one video of that on TikTok. And then I got maybe like two more videos of something like that happening at Titanic. And then I never saw anything about it again.
Yeah. I what was I gonna say
Oh
about that?
Mary, I see some shit is happening there every week. And
Some
I eat it up
nonsense is
every time.
happening and I'm cackling and I'm going now. Criterion, now.
Like I think
Uh,
there's argued like if you have like celebrities coming to see your show because it's funny, like comedians. The UK fucking loves comedians.
that's the thing. Because the other thing I was thinking is the Olivier award body going to want to give Titanic musical noms? Or is it just more willing to accept it as a comedy and be like, this is all about comedy, it's very good at what it does?
I could see it doing comedy
Yeah,
because I feel like that fucking tweet
the fucking
about
tweet.
how we don't take theater seriously enough over here.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Um, we don't.
We're
I feel
about
like
to talk about
that
some
has
shows
done,
that have got far too much award buzz for how
yeah.
what they are.
Um, but it's done irreparable damage to the like UK theatre scene.
Yeah,
In that I think they're scared to like reward fun musicals or fun
yeah.
shows in general.
Whiskey is a comedy. We don't find it funny, but it's a comedy.
Yeah, but it's also a British success story.
That's the other thing. Yeah,
It's there's a lot of things at play.
I wouldn't be surprised if it just shows up in comedy.
Yeah,
But
I
if
wouldn't
it's
be mad about it.
no, I wouldn't be mad about it because it's actually kind of although it's up against the Ghiblies, it's up against Spirited Away.
Mm,
No, that's children's entertainment. And I was like,
yeah.
ballet issues, but no, that's probably going to go into children's entertainment then. Anyway, let's move on to a show which has far too much award buzz around it. Mean Girls! Okay, so in 2011, Legally Blonde the musical swept the Olivier Awards.
Mm.
It was a bad year for musicals in the West End, though. Like, do you want to know what its biggest competitor was?
What?
Love Never Dies.
Damn.
So, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Mean Girls gets a Best Musical nom.
Yeah.
I don't think it's getting musical contribution. I don't think it's going to win Best Musical because it's Benjamin Button.
Because Benjamin Button's winning.
Benjamin Button. But the reviews were a bit too good for my liking. And it's selling a bit too well.
I think it's fun.
I also
Like,
think it's going to get some performance noms.
yeah.
Georgia Castle, who I saw Mean Girls. I didn't see Georgia Castle. I saw her understudy. She was very good, but Georgia Castle is getting so much buzz as Regina. I could very easily see that. Tom Zander, sorry, for Damien. I could see that. Should I tell you what else I could see that I'm kind of pulling for? Grace Moat.
Yes.
Grace Moat.
Absolutely.
If Grace Moat gets a nom, I will say, go ahead, Mean Girls, take all the noms you want.
Yeah. Sweep if you must.
If you must, sweep. Just make sure my girl Grace Moat gets it. She was so good in which we call it Bake Off.
Bake Off.
There's something else I was gonna say. I can see them giving a costume
Yeah. I
or choreography.
choreography maybe. Set?
Yeah.
My memory is it has memory of the Broadway production, which I did not see. But my memory of it is it has a good set.
The set is an LED screen.
Is it actually? They had a fun like mall on
Yeah, the
Broadway.
mall they've changed. Because I remember being
Ugh.
like there in the Broadway version.
They have a bus, but that bus might just be
bus?
choreography.
No, the bus is a screen. It's a screen that comes out and they project a bus onto it. And then like Regina runs behind it. Spoilers for Mean Girls.
Spoilers for Mean Girls.
Spoilers for Mean Girls. I could see it getting a set nom. I'm going to be so real. I don't think it's getting outstanding musical contribution because all the reviews picked up on the fact that whilst the book was amazing, because Tina Fey, I love you, the score was one of the weakest parts of it.
Yeah. The other thing is I think Mean Girls would probably do like not amazingly well, but like shockingly well for what Mean Girls is. And that's not a bad thing. Like it's still a very enjoyable musical.
I laughed. Tina Fey's
Yeah.
funny. The performances were good. I don't like it, but I had a good time.
Yeah, I've not got much to say on it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't think that there's really any category it could get nominated in that would surprise me.
I think musical contribution would surprise me.
Maybe. But like if it ended up with like a leading actress nom, I'd
Leading
be like, fuck, sure. You
leading
know what
actress
makes
in Dr.
sense?
Castle was like I've kind of been hearing this.
Yeah. I think even if it got a Best Musical nomination,
Best musical nomination, I'd be like, yeah, okay,
I'd be
because in
like,
my mind
sure.
there's like two slots up for play.
Yeah.
Two slots up for play?
Director,
Or
I'd be like,
five. There's anything from 2 to 3 slots up for play.
yeah. Yeah, like director, I'd be like, I guess so.
You guys like Casey
Choreographer, I'd be
Nicholaw?
like, sure.
I could see choreography over direction because it's
Yeah.
Casey Nicholaw for both.
Like I think there's a lot that I don't think it will get nominations in. But even if it somehow got a nomination in every single category it was eligible in, I don't think I'd be that shocked. I
No.
can see how the case gets made.
Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, I completely agree.
Like that sounds very positive, but what I'm trying to say, I think it's a very middle of the pack thing.
Yes.
There's nowhere where it like overwhelmingly excels, where I'm like, it has to get nominated in this. And there's nowhere it's really lacking. I'm like,
Yes,
if it gets
exactly.
nominated in this, I'm shocked.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. Next up,
Cannot
Devil
wait
Wears
to talk about this.
Devil Wears Prada. People think they're very divisive on this. People can't work out whether they love it or hate it. It is selling exceptionally well. Make it cheaper. We want to go.
So many people I know have gone to go see it, like from uni. They just keep
I
going.
I know one person who's gone to see it, and I got the intel from him, and it agrees with what the reviews were saying.
So my thing with The Devil Wears Prada, I love the movie The Devil Wears Prada. I actually
So,
rewatched it recently. It's a banger.
mhm.
The biggest letdown of The Devil Wears Prada is the costuming.
Yes, and that's what the reviews also said. They were like the costuming's like someone said like it looks like something that they got off of the Christmas section in M&S. Yes, the Christmas autograph collection in M&S, The Guardian.
Yeah. But it's like, so one of my friend who went to go see it, he came back and he made two comments. I prompted him a lot. I was like, tell me about the costuming. Like, tell me what you thought, because I need to make an argument. And he had 2 points. The first one was it was fine. Like, the costuming was fine. It didn't stand out to me.
Mm.
I'll come back to that. But then the second one was at one point she came out in a dress and he just said, I was, you know, I did a very stereotypical like gay guy gasp. Like she walked out and I was like, I was like, okay, icon. This is the guy who made fun of me for annotating working on a song, by the way. Just for the
Yeah,
con
and said the
I
iconic line that I've been thinking about since Nell told me a couple of hours ago,
I
of you
bought
are
my
a
copy of
character
working on
of
a song to
yourself.
uni with me because I wanted to annotate it. And I brought it out of my bag and break in our lecture, and he was like, why are you carrying a book with you? And I said, am I not allowed to fucking read?
I'm an
It's like, no,
intellectual, thank you.
yeah, I'm very smart. And he was like, no, it's fine, I'm sorry. And then I like opened it up and you could see I had been annotating it. He asked, are you annotating it? And I said, yes, it's a book about the lyrics of Hades Town. I'm gonna write my own thoughts on it. There. And he goes,
Duh.
you are a caricature of yourself. What the fuck?
That cracks me up.
Anyways, the biggest point, the important point he made was that the costuming was fine. I was like, yeah, but it's The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go and watch the movie and be like, the costuming was fine.
Hmm.
It was a big deal. Like, I mean, the scene of her, like the Chanel boots scene, you know?
And like, I think the issue with the costuming for the Devil Wears Prada is that it has to look high fashion, and so it's an imitation of what's already been.
Yeah,
Like, it's not like Gossip Girl where they can actually go out and buy all these expensive pieces or like rent them for the day. They actually have to have these, and they have to be able to dance and move in them.
yeah. But I think it could have been more fun. like I get everything seems like off the like rail.
Yeah.
Like it seems like I could go to Zara and buy half of the like high fashion dresses they wore to events.
Hmm.
Whereas I wish they'd just kind of been like fun, like been like fuck it. Here's like a bright like hot pink dress with
I
like
almost
feathers and a boa. It's like sure,
You've obviously seen the costuming for Death Becomes Her.
yes.
I almost wish it was like that, like so outlandish. They were like, yeah.
Like I think there is definitely an argument to be made that it could have gone very camp
Mm.
in its costuming.
The Devil Wears Prada with music by Elton John and lyrics by
Yeah.
Tina Taub.
I think like in most very similar to what I said about Mean Girls.
Yeah.
A lot of the Devil Wears Prada is very middle of the pack. It's fine. I wouldn't be too shocked if it got nominations in most categories.
I think
But I think that genuinely its letdown is the costuming, and that's what makes it bad. Because it is a show all about fashion.
so. The one thing that like people kept saying was the cast are very good, and I've heard this from my friend who went to go see it, and they said Amy Di Bartholomew
Yeah,
was exceptional, and she plays the Emily Blunt character,
yeah,
which really shocked everyone. So I wouldn't be surprised if she got a nom. I wonder if they're going to give one to Vanessa Williams for the
maybe.
star casting of it all. Something to think about. Um,
I did also hear that it is again just the movie on stage,
yeah,
and that nothing has really changed.
yeah.
Um, which again is fine. I've not heard any of the songs really.
No, they need to put out a cast recording. I'd be
Mm.
intrigued about that. Okay, let's talk about one that I'm severely divided on.
Mm.
MJ the Musical, which I keep forgetting is running. But it's at the Prince
Yeah,
Edward Theatre in Soho. Um, I fear it's gonna get Best Musical nom.
I fear it might.
I don't think it's winning, but it's gonna get one. I can see Miles Frost for Best Actor all day,
Yeah,
every day. I mean, he won the Tony and then he transferred it over here, so that makes sense.
yeah.
And also,
I'm
choreography makes sense.
yeah. Do you remember when you fought me on me saying it was gonna win
Yeah,
choreography at What's
that
on
was pretty
Stage?
stupid of me.
What the fuck else was gonna win?
That was pretty fucking stupid of me. Um, but the issue that a lot of the reviews raised is probably my issue with it is the allegations around Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
And the musical cuts like is set the year before, like it stops the year before the allegations come out, which feels like cheating.
yeah,
Like, oh, we can't talk about the allegations because our musical stops right the year before, coincidentally. Um, and also like the estate are very involved in this.
yeah. Which feels
Um,
weird.
which feels weird, and all the reviews brought this up. So it is something that's on the minds of the people a lot more, and it did okay at the Tonys. I think it won for Miles Frost. I don't think it won for anything else, but it was a bad year that year, if I'm not wrong.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it's like all about Miles Frost, and like people just gave it like less stars because like it was enjoyable, it was well done, it was sleekly presented. The woman who wrote the book won a Pulitzer, so it was like a very good constructed musical. But and I've also had this from people who've gone to see it who I know, but also all of them have said like I feel weird. Like I think the Guardian review, which gave it 2 stars, ends with saying. But as Frost took his final bow and the audience leaped to their feet, I felt queasy, bad even.
Mm. I feel like it's a double-edged sword because I don't know how they could have gone about doing the allegations.
Yes, yeah.
Which sucks because
Yeah,
it's a pretty good show, aside from
yeah.
I think the big issue is we've not seen it.
No.
We're not the biggest jukebox fans.
I'm not going to be real fans. I'm not going to go out my way to go see this. I know someone who has gone to see it, and they said like Act One takes so long to get going, but once it gets going, it's very good.
Yeah.
And I was like, honestly, Hades down.
I think best leading actor,
Yeah.
and
Easy.
choreography,
Easy.
I will be shocked if they don't get a nomination.
Yes. Yeah.
Everything else, I will kind of be shocked if they do.
Like, I don't think it's getting musical contribution because there's like, there's something crazy, like 40 songs in this.
I know. But I mean, again, it is Michael Jackson.
That is true. You
Like,
can't.
you've got such a good discography to pick from that you're not
Yeah.
gonna like,
Isn't
you
it
can't
like
not do bad. Like, you
all
can't,
of.
we're doing MJ the Musical without like half his songs.
Yeah, we're doing all. Like, you have to do all of Thriller,
Yeah.
but it's
Do
very
you know,
interesting about.
what if I should bring this up? But it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Me and my friends have been watching some of Michael Jackson's music videos.
They're really good. He was the king in the music video.
Not even, I don't even know the actual music videos, but some of them are short films.
Yeah.
There's one directed by Martin Scorsese,
Yeah. That's
just randomly. There's one with Marlon Brando in it. And
check it
like
out.
on the one hand, you're like, well, it is Michael Jackson. This kind of makes sense. The bad music video is about 16 minutes long or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
And it's a really fun video to watch. I would genuinely recommend it if you have the time. It's a very fun video to watch.
Yeah. I
But like,
Oh, do you want to know my Michael Jackson anecdote? I have two.
oh,
When he died,
yeah,
our teachers were shocked, and so we watched Newsround, and we were like
wow,
5, and we were just sat there watching Newsround, and I vividly remember watching the story of Michael Jackson dying. Secondly, I went to Vegas once, and family holiday to Vegas, as you do, and my sister, for some reason, got in her head just to go hee hee. So it was like
incredible.
4 in the morning, and me and my sister were asleep. We were in the hotel room together, and she wakes up and just goes hee hee and starts eating, the blue Takis
Oh yeah.
in her bed. And my sister who's sharing a bed with her was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Um, so those are my MJ stories.
I think that's yeah, I'm doing the musical. Lead actor and choreography.
Lead actor choreography, yes. Best musical, maybe. Musical contribution, I don't think so. Director, no. I could see it getting a lighting. The lighting looked pretty sick from the photos I saw.
Mm. Set, I've not seen anything about the set, so
The set has been described as me as like a rehearsal room.
okay, that's kind of chill set, good for the show. Not worth a set nom.
Next up, Kathy and Stella, another show I momentarily forgot happened this year.
Yeah.
So I have written down, came up through the fringe circuit, homegrown talent, however, was not the runaway success mega hit that Benjamin Button appears to be. Also, they're in the same theatre. Also, I forgot about this, and I was like trying to find reviews, and I was like, why can I not find like any major outlet reviews? The press night
Yeah.
had to be cancelled halfway through due to it being flooded, so many major outlets didn't publish a review of it.
I think Kathy and Stella was just really unlucky on the West End.
Yes. Because all the reviews were good and all the word of mouth was good.
And then it just kind of because I just saw the first review was talking about like Mincemeat, Two Strangers, Why Am I So Single, and Benjamin Button.
Why Most Single hadn't opened yet, which is probably important.
But like
you know what I mean.
would put it in that group. Like that's its group of musicals that it is most similar to, that it shares the biggest fan bases with.
Yeah, that's where it's DNA.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunately, it's kind of the Be More Chill of the group.
It is the Be More Chill of the group. That's I would actually.
It's a fucking singer. It just kind of flopped.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think it was just really unfortunate when it came about. Like, if it opened when Benjamin Button had opened in a different theatre, we would be having a very different conversation right now.
Yeah.
But
I think this is it's the kind of show that we should love, because about two friends having a podcast together.
Yeah, that's quite relatable to us.
Bitch, get us on that stage.
We're taking the show on the West End.
We revive Kathy and Stella stunt casted with us.
With us. Yeah.
Um, Yeah. I haven't seen anything about the plot.
I read
I
some.
actually do not know what happens in the show.
They're both unemployed for various reasons, and they have a
Same.
yes, they have a murder podcast, and they just read off Wikipedia, and then like a murder person like comes to town and dies, and so then they're put at the center of it. It does seem like it is providing some commentary on like what true crime is doing to us, which is
Mm.
interesting. That kind of fascinates me. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I
I think
think, unfortunately,
yeah,
I can kind of see this getting snubbed.
I can see this getting overlooked because I'm like we've not mentioned the revivals yet, and I think the revivals are going to take up a lot of space in
Mm.
a lot of the categories.
But I do think this show was probably very good.
Yes.
We didn't see it. It was
We-
kind of bad timing for us again. Like in all of my memory of it, there's nothing jumping out to me where I'm like, oh, it's going to get a nomination for this.
The performances were good. I wouldn't say like I think it's one of those things where it's like you have to nominate both of them.
Yeah.
There's just not the space to do that.
Mm.
Anyway, moving on to a show. I was about to make a joke, but I was like, no, next show. Let's be nice. Um, why am I so single? So I have written down Marlo and Moss follow up to their mega success of Six, which lost all of its Olivier to Come From Away and Patti LuPone. Um, closed early due to
You
bad.
know what? What a comeback story.
Yeah.
What, let's work it out on the remix, girl.
Let's work it out on the remix. But like also like that Olivier performance for Six was what kind of launched it into the stratosphere of musical theatre in a way people can't
Yeah.
comprehend. We wouldn't
Like,
know
again, I
Six.
think is not a particularly, like, awardable show. Like, I think a lot of its success was that it is a concert. Like, when I listen, I've said this before to Esme, I was like, I can listen to the Six album, and there's not a ton that I'm missing out on by not going to see it.
I think if I hadn't have seen Six, like when I saw it as it was blowing up, I wouldn't be interested in seeing it.
Yeah. I think Six is a very, very good show. I love Six, you
If it
know?
was a bit cheaper, I think I would go and have a couple drinks and have a good time.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I'm I want to love Why Am I So Single so badly.
Okay, so it closed early, which we unfortunately know. It had bad sales, but people do like Marlowe and Moss. There's a lot of goodwill towards them because I do think they're very smart and good theatre writers, and they have a. But yeah, I think Why Am I So, I think the thing that I've seen a lot of people we miss Why Am I So Single because it literally opened and then closed as we've been at uni. Like we've
Yeah.
barely been in London whilst Why Am I So Single was on.
It's also, I wish I could like screenshot some of our texts because some of our texts about Why Am I So Single is us just increasingly becoming like enamored by it. Like I texted me like coming home from uni, be like, I just saw some really good ads for Why Am I So Single?
Great ads for Why Am I So Single, and then like
As
when
me
it
being like, oh,
announced,
they've colored the Garrick
yeah,
bit.
but they just done the
Pink.
ick, yeah.
Like that's cute, that's
I,
fun.
I think when we're in London this week, I'm gonna be like, why isn't there a massive pink billboard for Why Am I So Single? I miss
Yeah.
it. Come home.
Um,
But
yeah.
I've listened to some of it, and do you want to know my truth? I really like the opening song because they've not released all of it. I like Disco Ball. I like what's it called? Eight First Dates, Eight Dates, or whatever it's called. And I
Mm,
do like the song that they have Lisa Tully sing, just in case. I also think it's a minute too long. I always get to like a minute before it ends, and I'm like, great song, great time, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh, minutes ago.
I also feel like this is similar to Kathy and Stella.
Hmm.
I think you have to nominate both Joe Foster and Lisa
See,
Tully.
I think, and this is something I wanted to talk about when you were talking about Mason Alexander Park.
Yes.
Joe Foster seems to have a lot more support behind them. And then I saw someone else say, because we have gender binary categories, and both Mason Alexander Park and um, Joe Foster identify as non-binary, where are we going to put them?
Mm,
And I was like, interesting debate to have there. Fascinating. Because I know for the Tonys, it's because Tony they do eligibility rulings. If the performer identifies as non-binary, they are asked which category they would like to be put in, and a lot of the times they do it strategically based off of which one they're most likely to win, which
Yeah.
I think is amazing.
You know
And
what?
go ahead.
That's the
If the
that's
system
being woke.
if the system's broken, use it to your advantage.
Yeah. Cheat.
Cheat. Um, so like
Cheat and lie your way to victory. I will always support that.
Carlos Goza has done that. Alex Newell did that. Oh my God, I cannot remember their name, but the person who plays maybe Ian and Juliet took themselves out of consideration because they didn't feel comfortable with the gender categories. We've not, to my knowledge, we've not had that yet in the UK, and so I wonder how that will be handled.
Mm.
I am saying that they both deserve performance nominations.
Yeah. That's my thing, is I think you have to nominate both of them. I think they both really deserve to be nominated.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the standout of my memory of Why Am I So Single is their performances.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of it.
Yeah.
My issue is I don't think the Oliviers are going to be bothered enough to try and fit Joe Foster in any way that is remotely acceptable.
One, be bothered enough. And these conversations could be happening behind the scenes and they're just not telling us, and we'll see when
Yeah.
what happens on Tuesday, what happens on Tuesday. One, they're not bothered, but two, also, how do I explain this? They don't care enough to go to the mat for this show and their performances.
Yeah. I think that's the thing, is I think they probably think the same thing as us, which is they probably should both be nominated. If one of them is nominated, they both need to be.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to figure out how to nominate Joe Foster.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just nominate neither of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to get nominations. And
I would love it if they were.
That they do.
If they are, then I'd
want them
be
to.
cheering, jumping up and down, going, woo, win, I win, I win. The woke wins, suck on that, Andy.
Can I say the funniest sentence someone said to me this weekend?
What?
We had someone down who was non-binary,
Nice.
and they were talking about their friend who was also non-binary,
Nice.
or two of their friends that were also non-binary, and very drunk. So we need a plural word for them.
That is true, actually.
To talk about both of them. I was like, you're so close.
Wait, what is
Thems.
I'm really bad at grammar. I'm horrific at it.
But yeah, I think
all of the reviews, even if they liked it or didn't, say Financial Times 4 stars, Energy and Heart by Foster and Tully, and then The Guardian said Tully feels her voice through Foster. Tully fills her voice with feeling, though Foster has more depth in their character.
Mm.
And then Variety, who didn't like it, were just sparkly Joe Foster and Lisa Tully. That's where the conversation was. And I think it does have more momentum behind it than a Kathy and Stella, because it closed not as...
It kind of feels almost culty.
Yes.
A lot of what I see people talking about with it.
Yeah.
I do think, unironically, a lot of the reviews were saying, it probably should go down to a 90-minute no interval kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. I was shocked when it was 2 hours.
Yeah. But if it does that, I could actually see it doing pretty well on Broadway. I think it could do shockingly well on Broadway.
I think Why Most Are Single, and I've said this since it announced it was closing, I think it has a great second life out there. They just need to work on it a little bit more.
Yeah. Bake Off.
Bake Off. We can't get into Bake Off.
And listen, maybe we're still on our kind of Rule Britannia shit. But 90 minutes, get it on Broadway, win a Tony.
Hey, here's the thing. Kick out Heathers and have it run at New World stages for years.
Can you imagine if they Heathers at New Worlds does what Heathers at Other Palace did here, and it just stays there for 5 years?
So, to tell you what I think it should do. It should run at New World. Why Am I So Single 90-minute version comes in and does what Heathers at the Other Palace did in New World stages, and everyone's getting really annoyed about it because they're like, we need this area for developing work, and it's like, nope, British musical here to stay.
Nope. Why Am I So Single?
Why Am I Single? Every Day, All Day. Next up, we're talking about a show which is going to get all the noms. It's actually sweeping.
Oh yeah.
Opening
Oh,
night.
one final thing on Why Am I So
Oh yeah,
Single?
sorry.
I think it could get a choreography one. I saw a lot of hype about how like energetic it was.
Mm-hmm. And this is
Maybe?
where I think we could really benefit from an ensemble Olivier.
Yes.
Like
Many
Benjamin
have
Bone,
said.
Comet,
Many such cases.
Why Am I So Single? Bam. And
Many
Starlight.
such cases. Starlight.
We're going to talk about Starlight in a minute. Don't you
Okay.
worry. Don't you worry.
Anyways, the big winner,
The big win of the
sweep
night.
alert,
Sweep,
opening
sweep,
night.
sweep. Hey, Sunset ain't got any nine on this.
Forget Sunset, forget the Hamilton Tonys.
Yeah.
Opening night, opening night, I've heard they're winning the musical revival, even
Mhm.
despite it not being eligible.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Eva Van
They've
Hove,
really found the entertainment somehow.
which game word? Eva Van Hove will be winning an Olivier for this. Rufus Wainwright is actually just going to do a stand-up set where he talks about how Brexit ruined his life,
Yeah.
and how, and like spew some weird right-wing talking points, whilst he accepts all of his awards.
Yeah.
And Sheridan Smith's going to be playing herself in an ITV drama about it.
Incredible. Yeah.
Uh,
Opening night. Zero nominations,
I
zero
just
wins.
like normally I pull reviews like
Clapped.
bad, bad, bad. Rufus Wainwright blamed Brexit and then did something else recently. I knew okay, it reminded me that happened. Closed early.
Can I say, Rufus Wainwright is, I think, who a lot of people think Andrew Lloyd Webber is.
Yeah.
Guys, Andrew Lloyd Webber's woke.
Android Web's got dark woke.
Like, if you sit down with the guy, perfect.
Anyway,
Um,
Two Strangers time.
yeah,
I don't
I
know
don't
if
know if
this is
this is
eligible.
eligible.
I don't know
I
if this is
don't
eligible.
know.
I go back and forth. I'm like, if it's eligible, it's a musical. But it had a run last year at Olivier eligible theatre, and everyone just kind of assumed it took itself out of consideration. Um, Also, the word of mouth on this show was not as good as everyone would like you to believe. People have come up to me in real life, two people, separate occasions, months apart, and told me that they did not like this show.
I know a lot of people did really like it. That's fine. You know,
But I think this is this instance where the conversation people are having online is very different from the conversation they're having offline.
yeah. And it might just be a thing of obviously the people we are actually friends with in real life are going to, we're quite cynical people, perhaps.
Dude, I have
No?
very different musicals taste to them, and if
Oh,
they're like
fair enough.
bad and like commercial, the one of the people who told me it was bad was the friend who I got in a fight with about because she loves Back to the Future the musical, and I was like, it sucks.
Uh,
Yeah, and then the other one fucking loves Moulin Rouge.
oh, well,
So
maybe this is the best show like ever written. We should have seen this.
no, I listened to some of the music and I was like, yeah, I can see it.
I think I heard some very good things. I feel like
I
it
did.
probably was good
Yeah,
in some sense of the word.
yeah.
Um, I don't know if this is eligible, and if it is, it has been a while since
It's
this
been
was
a
on.
while. I mean, again, it would have to be that thing of you'd have to nominate both.
You have to nominate both, and we're very quickly filling up both categories.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
also one of those things where no other actors really.
No, it's two-header.
Yeah. So they have to go into leading, obviously.
Mm. Cruising, cruising.
I could see if it is eligible,
Yeah.
I could possibly see it getting a best musical nomination.
Yes. Yeah. Actually,
I
yeah.
don't know how much I see it winning.
Oh no,
The
it's
other
not.
one, maybe Sat. It had that kind of falsetto's cube vibe,
Yeah.
which people are a fan of.
Yeah. People are a fan of that cube vibe.
I could see it getting best musical and like Sat maybe over getting two acting noms.
I could see it's getting its way into the musical contribution.
Yeah. Choreography, maybe, for the movement of the cube.
The movement of the cube, Ella.
The movement of the cube. Ella holds the face.
Next up, another show, which I don't think is getting in.
Oh,
Your Lie in April. Again, that happened this year.
I do remember that happening because I talked about it a lot because I was like, I should love this shit, and I
Why
don't.
don't I like it? Closed early limited run. Frank Wildhorn, kind of everyone hates him. Bonnie and Clyde didn't get nominated for the Oliviers when it was in London.
Yeah.
People don't really know what to do with this.
Maybe.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Maybe Set. They had a tree, right? They had a cherry
They
blossom
did have a
tree.
tree.
That's big in the anime. The cherry blossom trees.
Yeah. It looked quite
They climb
cute.
around. To be fair, they climb around a lot
Yeah.
in the anime. I don't know if that was translated.
I don't think it was translated. We're just going to do the next two quickly. Passing Strange.
Oh, wait. Your Lie in April.
Yes.
Maybe something like musical contribution. Because the two main characters are meant to be musicians.
Would that be
They play
sound?
piano and violin.
Would that go on to sound design?
Maybe something to do with sound.
We don't know. Musical.
We're trying to be as nice as possible, okay? We're trying to give everything something it can get nominated for.
We're being nice. This week, I'm being nice. I'm done with being a hater.
I don't remember Passing Strange.
Not away. And Fangirls, no. Sorry. Starlight Express.
Fangirls, again, this is why we should have an ensemble, Olivier. Because I feel like Fangirls could really benefit from an ensembles, Olivier.
Yeah.
Starlight Express as well.
Starlight Express, world domination. It
In my
caught
head, I was really convinced Starlight Express was last season.
No. I want to go eat spaghetti meatballs. That's what I'm going to start speaking.
I thought it was last season. In my head, it's last season.
Last season was Sunset.
I feel like Starlight Express was there.
No. Starlight Express. This caught on a way people didn't really expect it to. People really love Starlight, and we're in the middle of the Andrew Lloyd Webber Renaissance, baby. Strap in.
Should be.
It's gotten good reviews from people. People like this, which is probably the first time in history people have liked Starlight Express. What are you voting at?
I'm looking at last year's Wikipedia page.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Also, these categories could be different. These were just for the categories last year, and so I'm like, yeah, this is.
So we're guessing.
Best musical revival, obviously. Best actor in a musical, possibly for Jivan, but he's very talented, very good at it. Best director, I could see happening.
Yeah.
Best choreography, also very much could see happening.
I feel like it's almost it's up there with like MJ of.
Yeah.
He's kind of a shoo-in for at least a nomination.
Best set design, also could see happening. It's a
They ripped out as a warehouse.
Yeah. Best costume design, sorry Malfa, it's happening.
Yeah.
Best lighting design, happening. Best sound design, they each have like their own like in-ear like mics on and off. It's very impressive. Technical aspects are very impressive. Also, I think this is going to get in for outstanding musical contribution. Andrew
Lloyd Webber, get that Olivier again.
Andy, win another Olivier for your music of Starlight Express. Prove the haters wrong.
Britannia, Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I need to see him and Dave Malloy in the same room.
One day I just like. I wish they could just like scrap. Like, imagine if you were watching the Oliviers and like Dave Malloy just started punching Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I'd be cheering.
Can you imagine the entertainment value?
You'd be able to hear me scream.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, it is, Andy's season. The past 2 seasons now.
The year of Andy.
His revivals are back in a big way.
He's so back. He's so Brock. He's everywhere. He's so Julia.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to Starlight Express. I feel like is going to get a similar level of nominations that Sunset did,
Yes. I don't think
but
it's the winner though.
I think it's going to be less wins.
Well, because what's interesting about Revival in some of these categories, we get to have an Andy Cameron showdown.
80s are back, baby. The 80s are
Britannia.
back. Rule Britannia.
Guys, when I realized that today when I was putting this together, I was like, oh my God, we get to have an Andy Cameron showdown in the year 2025.
Musical theatre is back.
We're so back. Like,
We're so back.
we're so back. You know, like, oh, the 80s are back. Conservatism is in. Andy and Cameron are over their bullshit. Yes. I actually hate conservatism. Like, I would like that to be known.
Oh, really?
I'd like that to be known.
No, I'm leader of the Young Conservative Party.
That's a
I'm
joke.
not. That's a joke.
That's a joke. Yeah, so Rule Britannia, Long Live Starlight Express. Let's talk about Cameron.
Right. Nomination in every category. Win in every category. A sweep never seen before.
Starlight Express.
Oliver.
Yeah, honestly, the way people are talking about this revival, the British love Oliver and Cameron, to be honest. Andy and Cameron off question mark. Like them more than we think. I'm sad. If you couldn't tell, I started to lose my mind because I was reading so much like theatre reviewer stuff, and the way that they talk after a while gets really
Yeah.
So I started losing my mind a little bit.
The big issue with Oliver is that obviously Best Actor is Oliver. They can't put all 4 10-year-olds.
Historically, Best Actor has gone to Fagin.
That's what I think. But historically, the 4 10-year-olds playing Oliver just kind of haven't gotten nominations. They put him fucking featured.
Oh wait, this is the first time it's come back since the Matilda ruling.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So my assumption is that they might just not nominate the kids.
I don't think they will. I'm being TBH, honest.
It would make sense not to, unfortunately.
Yeah.
If we were doing this as it should be done, all 4 Olivers would be nominated for Best Actor.
Yep.
And then all 4 Artful Dodgers would be Best Supporting Actor.
Mm-hmm.
Actress would be Nancy.
Janae Holmes, but I think she might go in featured, and I think she's a very good chance of winning featured if she's put featured. It's been leading a joke with her. She's very talented. I was listening to her.
But if we're doing this how it should be done, Nancy should be leading.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then featured actress. I don't know.
Have one.
Who will buy my spirit?
My friend was just
girl sings that.
Also, I feel like I need to make you aware of this.
Yeah.
I've had it. My friend Kat has finally got AirPods, and it's the greatest thing ever because she did a transition that only you can achieve.
Oh my God.
She listened to 15 Minutes by Sabrina Carpenter.
Banger.
You want to know what she followed that up with?
What?
Lover You Should Come Over by Jeff Buckley.
Oh, I think I've done this exact run.
I looked at it and I went, I'm sure I'm not looking at now. Oh no, it's Cats. Choreographer for Matthew Bourne. I think also direction for Matthew Bourne. People seem to like the set because they've grittied up Oliver, which sounds ridiculous because it is fundamentally a gritty story. But I think with the Mega Musical craze, Cameron went, I'm going to make it massive and glitter. And Jonathan Pryce, he's Mega Musical in the 90s and then carried that through to the 2000s. So yeah.
God, this season is actually just Starlight Express versus Oliver.
It really
when
is.
It comes down to it.
It really is. Also Revival, obviously, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, now.
Next Revival.
Hello, Dolly.
Hello, Dolly.
Massive hit. Think it made $1 million in a week, which for your for American listeners, that's a shit ton of money in the UK.
Leading actress Imelda Staunton, almost definitely
Yes, she's a front runner to win.
front runner. Nominated for revival, don't
Yes.
think it's gonna win. Not when you've got Oliver up there.
Not when you got Oliver up there. And Starlight.
Um, and Starlight.
Best director I could see. I could see it getting in all of these, if I'm being honest, including musical contribution.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty easy nomination because it was a very, very good show.
And people remember it fondly. People are like, "Oh
Yeah.
yes, I liked that."
Like it's kind of it kind of just feels like a space filler. Like fuck, we don't have enough people we want to nominate. Hello Dolly's going
I
in.
don't know if we like. Like we quickly just put this in.
Yeah.
Something else I was gonna say.
And I'm not mad about it. I fucking love this show.
Not mad about it. Yeah, that's Hello Dolly. Not much debate to be had. Fiddler on the Roof.
Set. Set
Set.
design. Set design.
I could also see it like getting into revival very nicely. It's coming back. People enjoyed it. It sold out. I have the name of the person who played Tate written it down. Dan Heiser, last name. Apparently, people really liked him. Yeah.
This is another one where I won't be surprised.
If I just keep hearing Fiddler on the Roof.
Like wherever it gets nominated, because it's going to get nominations.
Yes. Now the next one,
I will be like actively shocked if it doesn't get set. That's the only one I'm like, it's going to get a set design.
Yes. No,
everywhere else, I won't be shocked if it does.
Next
but I also wouldn't be entirely shocked if it didn't.
Yeah, no, I get that. Next one, I'm not so sure. Kiss Me Kate.
I mean, it was at the same time as Hello Dolly.
Yep.
And they kind of blur together in many ways.
It wasn't the runaway of Hello Dolly, and it's not coming back like Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah.
I could see Stephanie J. Block.
Stephanie is,
getting in.
Yeah. She's a safe choice for a nomination.
Yeah.
She deserves it, of course. She's Stephanie J. Block.
Love you, Stephanie.
Love you, Stephanie. Your work in Wicked was incredible. The Wicked movie. Yeah. I think it is kind of in a sentence I never really thought I would say.
Yeah.
I think Kiss Me Kate is very similar to Mean Girls in this sense.
Yeah, I mean, if the category expands to 5, it's gonna get in, but I'm not expecting it to get Best Revival nom.
Yeah.
It's just been such a good year for revivals. Unlike last year. Have been
very good, and it's just kind of mediocre compared to them.
Unlike last year where it was like, oh crap, so obviously Sunset, and then Guys and Dolls, because we like that. And then also, crap, what else are we gonna put in? Oh yeah, Groundhog Day and Hadestown, revivals.
Yeah, fuck it, shove them in. Have they ever been performed in their current state in the UK? Nah, are you fucking kidding? Of course they haven't. Put them in revival.
Put them in revival! And it's like, oh, fuck off. Oh, I'm gonna miss Epic Free lyrics. I don't actually know the other ones.
I do.
That this week, I was like, I don't know them. It's gonna be a new surprise.
Controversial. Yeah. I do quite like the old lyrics.
I don't listen to the old lyrics.
They're a lot more on the nose than the new lyrics. But like very obvious what the point being made is.
I like the story.
By the way, Orpheus and Hades are the same person. Like they are the same kind of person. They're very much like that's basically what the lyrics are.
Also ballet shoes. Last one. We're gonna talk about
family entertainment, probably.
Family entertainment, probably, very well.
Choreography.
If it's in family entertainment, it's eligible for anything else.
That's the issue because it's ballet shoes.
Ballet shoes.
Do you know what I will say? From what I've seen, very good choreography and a very good set. It was kind of made for me in many ways.
In many ways, in every way, I'd argue it is made for now.
Yeah. And I didn't get to see it.
But you're going to next time.
I'm going to next time.
Anyway.
Tune in next week for us being slightly more normal.
We hope. God, I pray. Actually, the noms are going to be out. We're going to talk about the nominations comes out. We're going to see if we were right or not. I love being right, so I'm really hoping so. Yeah. And we're also going to talk about La La Land, a movie which I have not watched.
And I have.
now
And
has,
a
which is
shocking
really
turn of
shocking.
events.
It's like so shocking that this has happened. Anyway, follow us on TikTok. We're gonna be doing some funny stuff. Nell's flashing to post on the Twitter. Yeah, all the things are gonna be happening.
I have
So,
many pictures I'm planning to take.
oh please, we've got to talk about whether or not we actually are gonna share that one.
Yes. Yes.
You are aware that I cut it like most weeks. All but like
That will make it more fun. It's a surprise. That
out.
photo is being planned.
Anyway, we will speak to you guys next week. Bye bye.